Guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Frank, and in front of me is the brand new 2024 Porsche Cayenne S. Let's go ahead and let's get into this review on this beautiful V8 super SUV. Alright guys, so let's start off this review underneath the hood of the 2024 Porsche Cayenne, because this is the biggest difference between the outgoing 23 and the incoming 24. The outgoing 23, as some of you may know, had the 2.9 liter V6 under the hood, so Porsche had completely gotten rid of the V8, and they listened to their fans on this one because, well, as you could see in front of me, is the brand new V8 that's put back into the Porsche Cayenne S. This is going to be a 4.0 liter twin turbo V8 pushing out 468 horsepower with 442 pound-feet of torque with a 0 to 60 time of 4.7 seconds and a top speed of 169 miles an hour. And that's going to be mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. And obviously this truck is all-wheel drive, so again, that's going to help propel this truck. Now, just before we jump into the full exterior review of the new Cayenne, I do want to go over, first and most important, is the price. So the base price for this one is $95,700, and with all the options that this one has in it, has brought this total price to $127,420 for this beautiful SUV. Let's go ahead and let's continue on in this review. All right guys, so starting off on the exterior is obviously this color, this beautiful, beautiful color. This is the Arctic Gray. It is an added option, and I think it looks phenomenal. So coming down now to these beautiful, beautiful headlights, you can see some of the design in there. It looks awesome. I always loved the new Porsche headlights. I really think they did a great job. They look super elegant, and I think overall they kind of complete the look, especially of this SUV. In the center is obviously going to be your classic Porsche badge, and then now moving on to the lower area, you can see we have these massive grills on the front. We have one on the right side, there's a radiator just behind there. We have the one in the center with the camera right in there, and then obviously to the left is going to be the same thing as the right side. There's going to be a radiator in there. These are all finished in glossy black, and then there's also some plastic trim in there as well. And then in the lower lip area, that's all going to be plastic all the way on the bottom. And then we do have some color matching trim pieces right down there as well. Same thing on that side. So I think overall though, the front end is very aggressive. I think they did a pretty good job on the look of this truck. Now let's go ahead and let's move around to the side of the SUV. All right guys, so now moving around to the side of the Cayenne, you can see we have these beautiful, beautiful black wheels on here. These are going to be a pretty pricey extra option. These guys are going to be the 21-inch RS Spider design wheels in high gloss black. These are going to be about $4,000 for the set. We do have Bridgestone tires on here. And now your tires on the front are going to be a little bit smaller than those on the rear end. So the front ones are going to be 285 by 45, and again with these 21-inch wheels, you have your beautiful red calipers in there. And then on the rear ends, as we go to back here, these are going to be a little bit larger, and these are going to be 315s by 40s by 21s, and again you have that little red caliper in there. Please note that the reason for the no center cap in here is just because this one was parked outside, so they don't want anyone to just walk up to here and take the center caps and steal them, so they are kept inside of the car until someone comes and obviously buys it. Then they will pop them back on. So that's the only reason why they're not on here right now. Now moving along, you can see we have color matched fender flares on here in that same Arctic Gray color. It looks beautiful. Same thing with the door handles, all matching. We have a gloss black mirror cap right here for your side view mirror. I think it looks really, really nice. And now moving our way back as well, you can see that all of the trim for the windows and everything like that is also finished in that gloss black, piano black style finish. So moving our way now to the full rear end of the Cayenne S. This thing looks really aggressive on the back. Again, that Arctic Gray looks great on here with that large black rear taillight. I think it looks phenomenal. You have your Porsche badge right here in the center, finished in black. If you can kind of see that right there, you have your Cayenne S underneath there, again finished in black, and then this very large piece of black plastic on the back. And now you do have, as you can see right there and right there, we have quad tips. And again, we're going to go ahead and give this thing a cold start because it sounds absolutely phenomenal. So let's go ahead and let's hear a cold start on the beautiful 2024 Cayenne S. guys, and as you just heard, that exhaust to me honestly sounds really good. It sounds super aggressive for what it is, and I think it really, I think the Porsche did a really good job making sure that V8 sounds appropriate for what this kind of SUV is and the kind of power it has. So let's go ahead now, let's open up this trunk area, and then let's see with what cargo space we have back here, because obviously this is an SUV at the end of the day, and let's see what you got. So when opening up the trunk, I just want to note that obviously we have the key right here. This is a standard Porsche key, nothing really too special to it. We do have the unlock right here. Just give that a press, and that folds on up right for you. And here is the cargo space of the new Cayenne S. As you can see, it's relatively simple and honestly pretty similar to what most SUVs in today's market are going to offer. We do have a, right here you can see, a little button to help raise and lower the suspension if you want. Obviously this truck does have air suspension, so when I jump inside and show you the different drive modes, you'll be able to see that more as well. We do have a cargo privacy cover right here that you can go ahead and pull up right into these little areas right there. You have 2 lights on each side, another little cargo area right here with a net for you to store stuff. The overall material for the carpet feels really nice. It's very soft. And I think they did at least they did a really nice job with that. I like the way that it feels, and again, super soft. Right in here, you can see we do have this kind of metal trim running throughout here. I know some people are not gonna like that because it's very easy to get scratched. And that's really it for the trunk on here. So let's go ahead, let's close this up, and let's jump onto the interior of the new Cayenne S. And now just before getting into the full interior, obviously we're going to start with the basic thing, which is starting it up. As you can see, our engine start and stop is obviously on the left side in classic Porsche fashion, and your gear selector is going to be mounted right up here. So instead of it being in the center area like a lot of the newer Porsches are, it's right up here. Your park button is a simple button, and everything else is controlled by this one little toggle switch right here. All right, guys, so we are now inside of the brand new Cayenne, and first impressions are, wow, this thing feels phenomenal across the board. The seats, the steering wheel, the smell, the way everything looks. I think that Porsche did a really good job on the overall interior design of this SUV. And again, not much has changed except for a few key features, which I'll show you in just a little bit. So first, jumping in, is you're going to see when you close the door, we are greeted with a bunch of leather along with more of this metal trim right here, and then you do have this piano black finish, gloss black right up here. The door handles right here, it is very sleek. As you can see, it's integrated into this little trim piece right here, so it looks like it is right in there. Go ahead and lift that open, and then it opens the door for you. We do have memory seats right here with 3 different memory settings. Your door unlock buttons are right there, and then a couple of other general door controls and window controls are going to be all right on here, such as opening and lifting your tailgate as well from back here. So it's not going to be underneath there like most cars would. Instead, you actually have it right here, which is a nice little touch. So now jumping up to the main thing that you're going to be staring at is this beautiful digital cluster. It is curved, as you can kind of see from over here. And you can see that everything is fully digital across the board. The screen size itself is going to be a 12-inch screen. As you can see right now, we are in Sport Plus mode right down there. This car does have a Valvetronic exhaust, so when I put it into Sport Plus mode, you can hear those valves opening up and closing, as you I'm sure had heard on the exhaust clip in the back. In order to change your drive modes, is going to be right down here where your drive mode selector is. It's very simple. Just give it a turn. You can see that it changes up there, and you can kind of hear in the background that exhaust clip open and close up. So I'll be quiet so you can try and hear it. So I'm sure that you could hear it right there. And again, everything's also going to display on this center screen right here as well. Talking about this center screen, some quick specs, is this going to be a 12.3-inch display. And in the passenger, which is new for this year, is actually a separate display just for them to look at. So again, it's not going to distract the driver. As you can see, when you're in the driver's seat and driving around, these two have perfect visibility, nothing over there. But if you move over towards that passenger side, boom, you can see that illuminate up, and you can see how you can see everything that would be normally on this screen, you have access to as a passenger right here. So you can change everything, watch YouTube videos, do whatever you want to do on this screen, while the driver has absolutely nothing else happening on his 2 screens on here to distract them from driving. Okay, so let's delve a little bit deeper onto this interior, starting off with the steering wheel. The steering wheel is fully wrapped in leather. You do have your Porsche crescent right here. Like I said, your drive mode selector right here, and there's a couple other basic functions in here as well. You do have 2 paddle shifters on here too, which feel and sound very nice. They are made of metal, and I think that they did a great job with that. Now, moving on to the screen in here, you can kind of see there's a lot of stuff for you to look at as the driver. There's a ton of information that you can see on here. I'm leaving it on this one for right now because this is the Sport Plus mode, so it's going to tell you your G-force right here. You're going to have your miles per hour in the center. Your tire pressure is going to be there on the left, and your oil temperature is going to be also on the left over there. I think they did a very good job. And as you can see right over there, again, with that suspension that I was talking about in the rear end, you can see that when we zoom into right there, it has the little SUV logo with a triangle underneath it, meaning that when it's in Sport Plus mode, what's going to happen is that the suspension on the outside is actually going to lower. So this one does have active suspension in here, and now you can see that when we put it into Sport mode, you can see that flashing one more time. And then when we go into normal mode, you could see it flashing yet again. And there it is going to stay just like that, which is the normal ride high mode. You can see it completely disappears. Now you can see there is one other mode there, that's off-road mode. So you actually put it into off-road mode and boom, it raises the suspension up a little bit higher than what standard is going to be. So that's really it for this. You can see we do have that sport chrono clock right up there, which looks phenomenal. Now right here is going to be the main infotainment system right here. You can see this is going to have all your basic functions. It's going to have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. It is wireless Apple CarPlay, to keep note of that. You can see it is very responsive as well. It looks great. It's very big. I know that's kind of the new things with a bunch of other cars now, is having larger and larger screens. This one is no exception, having one massive screen right here. You can see you can access a few things like YouTube and a couple of other apps in here as well. But I think that they overall did a great job. It's very sleek. It matches the whole interior vibe of this truck. And I think that if it didn't have something like this, it would probably look a little off or a little cheap. Just below that is going to be a wireless phone charger right here with 2 charging ports right over there. Now, this is another cool thing that the Cayenne S offers, and it is the brand new way that they control the air control in here, which is actually this one massive screen that illuminates when the car is on. And instead of you tapping it and nothing happening, the actual whole screen itself moves in an angle, so it's responsive. So it's pretty weird, but if you want to do the heated seats, you press it down, and as you can see, the actual whole screen itself will push down into that direction. Now, coming just below that is going to be another smaller storage area right here, and then your 2 center cup holders right here. Excuse my GoPro for being in that cup holder. As you can see right here is another GoPro. This is another option right here, which is actually the ashtray if you would need one in here. And that's where your other cup holder is going to be. You can see right there on top, it does say Porsche. Now, moving back a little bit more, we have this full leather armrest with the stitching right in here. We'll lift this up, and as you can see, it's a pretty decent space in here, and you do have one LED light in there, and that's it. There's no other things in here. There's no charging ports. There's no nothing else for you to use in here. So now, giving that a close, let's go on to the second most important thing I think in here, which is these beautiful, beautiful, beautiful seats. So these seats are an added option. It is going to be $4,100 for these. A full leather interior in black and Bordeaux red. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. I'm probably not, but it is what it is. You can see we do have these beautiful perforations in here as well. The red is so vibrant. It looks phenomenal, especially in person. The camera's not doing it justice, I don't think. But moving on to the headrest, you can see we do have the Porsche logo embroidered up there. And again, everything looks absolutely beautiful. It feels awesome, and it's super, super, super soft and super comfy to be inside of here. And now moving our way to the upper portion, you can see we have a full panoramic roof, which looks absolutely beautiful. It matches this truck extremely well. Everything is controlled right up here. Pretty standard, nothing too crazy about it, but I think they did a really good job, and I'm glad that this one in particular has this. Now let's go ahead and jump into the rear seats and see what that back room is like. All right, so now hopping inside of the rear end of the Cayenne, you can see there's a lot of leg room. It's pretty good, it's pretty comfy, and again, the seats are just as comfy back here as well. I think that overall the headroom is very good. I don't think that anyone back here would have an issue, and I don't think anyone would have really an issue with the leg room back here as well. The back seat features for the rear passenger is going to be climate control back here, which you can see when the SUV is on, and we do have 2 separate charging ports right down here, along with a 9-volt right down there. In the center right here, all you do is lift this down, and that's going to expose your 2 center cup holders right here, or armrest, whatever you want it to be. The overall seats, again, are going to have the Porsche embroidered logo on there, and everything else is going to be finished off in this beautiful Bordeaux red interior. And taking a look from the front end from back here, you can see that massive screen area running across there. I think that it looks phenomenal. Let's jump back outside and let's wrap up this video. Alright guys, so that's going to wrap up the full review on the 2024 Porsche Cayenne Turbo S. Let me know in the comments below if this is an SUV that you would take for yourself, why or why not. Without further ado, I'm going to wrap up this video, and be sure to check out my next video, which is going to be the POV drive inside of this beastly SUV. I look forward to seeing you guys all in the next one. Take care, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.